Hallo und willkommen. Hello and welcome. I'm Susanne from Learn a German Word a Day. And today I thought we would take a look at the word Krankenhaus. It's the German word for hospital, and it's another composite word combined of krank, which means to be sick, and Haus, which of course is the German word for house. So the house of the sick is the Krankenhaus. Maybe that'll make it a little easier for you to remember. And as a bonus, you get to learn 3 words today. So you get the word krank, sick. Ich bin krank, I am sick, which thankfully I am not. The word house, das Haus, the house. And then, of course, the actual word of the day today, das Krankenhaus. So maybe I should start to give you the article with every word, at least with the nouns, so you know whether you would use der, die, or das. So both Haus and Krankenhaus use the article das Haus, so they're neutral. And maybe we'll do another video in a couple of days where I'll explain in a little bit more detail der, die, and das, and how you would use them. And maybe a couple of tips on at least taking a guess at which article you use. I remember learning languages in high school or throughout school. In French, I had a really hard time figuring out which word was male, which word was female. So I can only imagine how tricky it has to be with German, because we not only have male and female, we also have neutral. And I loved when time came around to learning English, which is actually the last foreign language that I learned after French and Latin. It was really nice to only have to deal with the. The only challenge there was to learn to pronounce the TH without spitting at the person in front of me. Sorry, that might be a little bit too much information here, but let's get back to the topic. So the word today is das Krankenhaus, the hospital, and of course we then use that same idea of mashing these words together to make other words related to the hospital, the Krankenhaus. So for example, a ambulance is a Krankenwagen, a sick people wagon, a vehicle that you transport sick people in. That's a Krankenwagen. And just to make things a little bit more confusing, of course, the Krankenwagen, der Krankenwagen, it is male. Don't ask me why. And then a nurse would be called a Krankenschwester. My mom is actually a retired Krankenschwester or nurse. And that, of course, would be the female version, so die Krankenschwester. And just in case you're curious, of course there are male nurses, and they are usually called Krankenpfleger. So there you have it. We talked a whole lot about hospital and everything around it. So you actually learned quite a few different words. I hope you don't have to use them anytime soon. But I'm sure you'll agree that Krankenhaus is a pretty important word to know in case there is some sort of an emergency. At least you know how to ask for directions to the place or ask somebody to take you to the hospital, to in das Krankenhaus. So that's it from me for today. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a like. And of course, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. As always, I welcome comments, and I will be back with another video for you tomorrow. Until then, tschüss und bis morgen.